Hey all, Bill Young here. I want to talk real quickly about a very cool project that some friends are doing up in Baltimore. It's Open Works, makerspace in Baltimore, right across from Greenmount Cemetery in Baltimore, sort of where I grew up. So it's neat to see interesting things happening there, and there's all kinds of cool stuff happening in Baltimore. But Open Works is a big makerspace and they've done a lot of sort of social good kind of things. From the start of COVID, they started a program called Makers Unite, and they did face shields and all kinds of things. Well, currently they have a project for a desk, a Makers Unite desk. And the idea is that you've got, kids doing schooling from home, and they're having to do their schoolwork on the kitchen table or the dining room table with their brothers and sisters. And then when it's supper time, they got to clear the work off, and it's hard anyway learning at home, away from a teacher and away from your friends and all that. But at least not making it any harder than it has to be. So they've got this really cool design, plywood, flat pack design, and they've done a couple things. One of them, they just put the word out in Baltimore, in their area. If they were doing $50 donations, you could donate a desk, and they would cut them, and people could have them. And within a couple days, he had 4,000 requests in Baltimore, which is a crazy number. They can't do that many. It's just, logistically, it's just too much plywood to deal with, just not enough machine time. So they've open sourced the design for other people to do. So I'll talk more about this in the upcoming Stuart and Bill show. But what I'm doing and ShopBot is doing to help them is to promote it. We want to promote it among ShopBot users. If you're in Baltimore, that's value added. If you want to cut some and add it to the pile of ones that's needed there, help knock a few off of the 4,000 list. But if you're just need it in your neighborhood, every community has this problem. The kids are home from school. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a hybrid thing where they're in school a couple days a week and home a couple days. But they've made the files open source. You can get them for free. If you can make a donation, that's wonderful to OpenWorks. And they have a Shopify. Let me see if I can pull this. If I'm smart enough to make this happen. Let's see. Let's share this. So this is the desk. They have a desk and a stool design made out of 3/4 plywood. And I've been doing some sort of ShopBot centric mods to it so it works the way I cut. And you can help support the program in Baltimore by donating $50, and they'll cut a desk and send it off to a kid that needs it. They have a downloadable plan. So I'll figure out how to stick a better link. But you can download DXF files and instructions. They have a cool video of somebody putting one together in YouTube. But like I said, we'll talk more. Stuart and I will talk more about it in an upcoming Stuart and Bill show. But I just kind of want to get people thinking about this. I'm planning on cutting a bunch. I've got some Cell-X, 3/4 inch Cell-X ply, probably half a dozen sheets. And I can get 9 of them out of 5 sheets. So it's not quite 2 out of a sheet, but it's pretty close. And I can get 7 of them out of a sheet of 7 of the stools. So I'm going to cut up what I have, work with some folks in the community, and figure out who needs them more than anything. And if plywood shows up, I'm happy to keep cutting them. But there's one very cool thing, and like I said, we're going to talk a lot more about this at Stuart and Bill. But they've got an innovative solution to the stool seat problem. And the stool seat problem is when you've got a stool that slots, it's got legs that slot together like this, and then a seat with tabs. The tabs from the legs fit up in the seat. If you don't get those slots in the bottom of the seat just perfect, the seat doesn't want to stay on. It's either really hard, you got to wail on it to get it together, or the seat comes off when you lift it. and it changes with temperature and humidity and all that. So the solution, I struggle with this all the time. I've built a million different kind of stools, but you end up having to put a screw through the seat into the legs to make them stay together, to be sure they'll stay together. But the unintuitive part is you can't put the screw right in the center of the seat, because that goes in to the part that goes like this, not the part that goes like that. So you're holding this, but the legs can still fall out. So you actually have to put the screw hole off center. And then you have to, when you assemble, you have to make sure that you have the seat oriented the right way. It's way more complicated than it seems like it ought to be. And I've glued them on, I've put screws in, I've done all that stuff. But they're using these things called glue dots. You get them from Uline, you get them all kind of places. And it's that real sticky stuff that you can put in, that when you get your credit card in the mail, that sticks the credit card to the piece of paper. And you can peel it off, and it's kind of like snot, and it's all sticky, and you peel it off, but it comes off clean. Well, in their stool assembly, they put these glue dots in every one of the pockets in the seat. So when you bang it together, it holds the seat on. I thought that was like a really great solution. Because like I said, I've struggled with this for a long time. So we'll talk more about it, but the project is, it's OpenWorks Baltimore, it's the group, and it's the Makers Unite desk. And I'll figure out how to stick the links on here. If you're in Baltimore or just want to donate, you want to help a kid that's, having a tough time with school, there's a ton of them. Like I said, they got 4,000 requests just in Baltimore in just a matter of days. They had to shut it down because they just had too many. They were overwhelmed by requests. You can download the files. You can help support them by give them a little donation when you download the DXL file. And I'm going to be making my version of the files, which is basically just kind of my tool pathing, using merge tool paths and associate with layers and all those sort of gee whiz features that are in vCarve. I'll make a version available online for that. And we're going to be cutting a bunch of them and helping to support. So stay tuned to the upcoming Stuart and Bill show to find out more. And we'll be putting some stuff on the website.